Me. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Top Rope Wrestling Talk proudly brings to you the most dynamic podcast crew in the world! Grandma Wendy yourself.
Naked grandma! Naked, huh?
The snarky stone clown Jose. Hobo clown, my bad. The one, the only, the most high-class MJF mark of all time, Bruce. I'm just going to keep doing that, Bruce. And of course, the man, the soundboard god, the jack of all trades, the master of none, the South Philly Psycho, Dom. And we are the Quarantine Outlaw.
Episode 2 of Lethal Quarantine.
I had to see if I was healthy enough to do that. I'm sorry.
That was a good start. We're off to a great start.
That was definitely the kickstart that we needed.
And if you can't say it all, just call us the Four Horsemen, baby.
There you go.
Wait, you do not drink before Daddy drinks. Thank you. You may drink now.
Oh,
Thank you, Daddy.
Joining the
fucking God.
Exalted One. What's up?
Oh my God, that was so great.
I saw my opportunity, man. I was wide open.
So like, man, the Beaver Boys have been kind of getting the shit end of the stick in AEW. They're actually a really good freaking tag team. They're actually both very talented, and you know, I hope that promo with everything that happened between Harper and them, that it kind of gives them a kick and, you know, gives them a little bit of a push that they need. Because I watched a match on YouTube when I was searching up the Butcher and the Blade when they first came to AEW, and that's who they wrestled. And, dude, they had one hell of a friggin' match. They've got so much more to offer to the tag team division than what they're letting them.
Yeah, they're definitely talented. I don't know. After that promo, it's going to go one of two ways. Either those guys are going to get get a fire lit under their ass by the Exalted One and go start killing people and show what they can do, or they're going to get their ass beaten, kicked right out of Dark Order because they sneezed on the Exalted One's steak. That is not right. Social distancing.
Snake?
Do the
like, what's on your mind, bro?
Jake's promo on the fire.
You know, we're talking about Brody Lee here.
I know. I'm all over the place, man. I can't help it. I'm all jacked up on caffeine now. I'm good.
Oh, my God.
It's like, you remember that episode of MLW when MJF stole Richard Holiday's coffee? That's me right now.
That was awesome.
I know, I'm stupid. It's just good to be back. This is my first cup of coffee today. I was feeling awful before then, and I couldn't figure it out. So, forgive me a little bit, y'all.
So,
and Brody actually had an in-ring debut this week too.
who'd he wrestle?
QT Marshall.
Oh, yeah, that's
QT
right.
Marshall.
That's right. I forgot.
And his apple.
The young up and comer. Yep.
Walked up to my
The
man.
young up and comer that's like 50.
Brody walked straight up to my man QT, and he took that apple and he just handed him a nice big squash. That was all happened in the match. It was just done.
Can someone let Marshall know the whole apple gimmick's been done already?
Yeah, he really doesn't want to be cool. We ought to be spitting it in his face. At least he's trying, y'all. He's had a rough road to get to AEW.
Yeah, he really has. He's
in AEW too. You remember that spinning wannabe Topi Cone hero that he did, and he barely cleared the top rope, and he barely landed on somebody. He almost ended up on the apron.
The dude's like the next Kurt Angle with neck surgeries.
It's like, which was worse, that move from QT Marshall or the fallen angel on the ramp, the moonsault that wasn't just bah.
I still think that Christopher Daniels was on purpose.
I would think that if it ever led to something else, you know what I mean? Like it didn't lead to him kind of saying like,
it led to a lot of old man jokes, and that was about it.
and a lot of laughs from us when we saw it.
Well, no, it led to him being accused of being the exalted one. You know,
Which
that's
didn't
where
lead
that's
to
where it
nothing.
led to. Well,
Okay,
you
true.
know.
It led to a good rivalry because this whole Dark Order SCU has potential.
Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We just got to get Scorpio Sky out of his house and back to the
But
arena.
it's not SCU. The other two are just there because it's against Christopher Daniels. That's the whole thing. Kazarian and
Sky.
Guy, yeah. Can't
yeah, I
remember
mean,
his
Dark
name
Order-
half the time.
Literally
Yes,
just said it.
Sky, that guy.
Dark
Yeah,
Order was
that
just,
guy.
rent that space in SCU's head, saying like, "Yo, Christopher Daniels, he's the exalted one. You didn't know." Like,
I'm still pissed off, okay? The little damn midget done pissed me off, all right?
what midget?
The I'm not a Spanish god lying ass mother midget ass.
Oh,
Whoa!
I
Pause.
was actually
Let's
gonna
review
get.
our
Wait,
history
wait, wait, wait,
textbooks,
before.
shall we?
Do we
Or-
have to
hold-
review history?
I
Where
felt lied to.
Spaniards
I've been lied
came
to.
and conquered
Yo!
Cuba
You
and Central
do
America,
that.
Mexico, and South America, and did all of this? Did we forget
Come on.
the conquistadors?
Yo, hold up, one sec, because I brought something back that's very near and dear to everybody's heart. The wheel of wrestling is right here, and there's a topic on it, and I'm gonna give it a spin as soon as I can get it lubricated here, and we're gonna go from.
Lubricated.
That's what she said.
All right, ready?
Is she really?
Big money, no coronavirus. Sweet, it landed right on what I wanted. The topic, yo, I'm Cuban, B. And that is, of course, what we were jumping the gun on, which is, Sammy Guevara runs around. He's trying to claim to be the Spanish god. And then while we're watching Dynamite, my lovely wife Googled his ass. She looks at me and goes, "This motherfucker ain't even Spanish. He's Cuban." And I said, "What?" And she showed me the phone, and I went, "Oh my God." And I reported it on the Dynamite thread. And my man Jose, who has been the biggest Spanish god mark out of all of us,
The Cuban god.
Yeah, the Cuban B was just, I mean, I don't even know. Hurt is not the word. My man was mad as fuck. So I want to first let Jose have the floor to vent his frustrations over the Spanish god, because I know he loves him. I know it's been in his head since Wednesday. Please have at it, homie.
Fuck him and fuck Jericho. That's all I gotta say.
Ah.
What
I
did
thought he
you
was
just
gonna-
say? Did...
Oh yeah, Le Champion.
No, I'm not even talking about. You said fuck Guevara.
Yeah,
Yes.
lying little bastard.
He was
Wait
saying
a
that.
minute.
He was saying that in the Dynamite.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. You've been on that man's dick since AEW opened their
Balls
doors.
deep.
Came out with the
Then
pants.
Then you
deep.
find out that he's
The
Cuban, but he still speaks Spanish. So there's still we're there. We're there.
Now-
But we're close. He's close.
If anything, I think they just should have called him the Latin God and got that shit over with. It would have covered all the bases. He's Cuban. He's Latin. Close enough. All right, cool. But Wendy had a whole other side to this story that she shared on our Dynamite thread, and I now want to give my homegirl, my grandma, the opportunity to let her side out and just educate the people here. Go ahead, Grandma. Do your thing.
I'm very interested in this.
So everybody, open up your history books, shall we?
Hold
Let's
on, I
recall.
I got a checkbook. Does that count?
That counts, definitely. Make it out to cash.
Make
Grandma
it
went
out to cash.
8 cents. Don't spend it all. You know your grandma give you a bullshit check.
Right? Y'all, so there was a time back in the old days, like in the 1500s, where there was the Spanish conquistadors, and there was all the trade and everything that happened, and the merchant ships that came through, and Spain did come through, and they came through the islands, through Cuba, Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic. Why do you think que nosotros hablamos español? No seas menso, Jose, carajo. So they came through the
damn it,
islands,
no
they came
habla.
through Mexico, they came through Central America, they came through South America. So being called Spanish, it is part of our heritage, it is part of who we are. And if you go to various places throughout the U.S., they call us Latinos Spanish. Come up here to D.C., Mo, and you're going to hear, hey, yo, Mo, you Spanish?
Because them white people be stupid, girl.
No matter how much
'Cause them
I
white
say,
people be
Mo,
stupid.
I understand.
Really?
You know what? I will defend her by saying, if you've seen that Netflix special with John Leguizamo, he goes through and explains like the history
Thank
of Latin
you.
people, and he says a lot of that same thing, like Spanish people just came over and started like sexing up the Incans and
You know
Puerto
she's
Ricans
you,
and Cubans.
hold on. You know she's been stuck at home for the last 2 weeks, and she's probably watched that like 12 times, and that's where she got it
I've
from.
read the books. I
if you've
know my
seen-
history.
if you've
I
seen
know
that
my
special-
culture. I know my heritage. I know where my people come from.
Go back,
Okay?
because if you've seen that
I know
special,
my shit. ¿Por qué?
Not
Porque
only-
Mateo, I read my books.
not only did John Leguizamo explain it, he actually whipped out like history books and went through and showed you like this is
And
what
I've
happened
read those
here,
books.
and that's
I've
what
read
happens there.
those books.
So I have heard that before. I will defend her.
You've
on
heard it
that.
because
I have
it's
heard that shit
true.
before.
Because it's what happened. It's history. People
So,
say like it's a rumor, supposedly.
if-
No,
if-
the Spaniards
go
came
back-
through here.
Okay, so if you go back through history, then
Wait a
maybe
minute.
he's still a Spanish god. That's all.
He's a Spanish
Now-
god.
Little bit Spanish.
Can we all acknowledge that like we got Wendy like Latina pissed off? She's throwing her hands around and snapping like she. If we were there at her house, she would have thrown her sandal at us.
I know.
That would have been
Chancla.
glasses.
It'd have been the chancla.
Is it chancla or
She had
chancleta?
that
Yelling
damn
in
boomerang
Spanish. My cat over here looking at me like, this bitch.
Either way, I was.
I was looking at you like this bitch.
Or something to like come hit me in the head. Oh, what the fuck? She did everything but snap.
Yeah,
Whole ass thing.
she's all.
By the power of Selena, you will learn today.
Okay, so now that we've had our weekly
She got
history
mad, like-
lesson,
When she got mad like that, though, I gotta be honest. I could fall in love.
this fucking guy.
Oh man, you messed up.
I'll be dreaming of you.
All right, someone throw a white rose and let's get this over with.
Oh, damn. I ain't even mad.
Oh, I don't even have any coffee left.
I know I'm almost out too. Damn. Hold up, I'll hit the K-cup machine. I'll be right back.
Ooh, what do we got next on the wheel there, Dom? Since I got my history lesson for the week.
You're welcome.
And we
Thank
didn't get
you.
with a chunkla. All right, let's get this bit of spin. All right. More impressive debut. I like this one. If you had to pick between Brody Lee, Matt Hardy, or Vanguard 1, who had the most impressive debut?
Honestly, I think it had to have been Brody Lee. Only because he did more. There was more to his debut than it was for Hardy. Hardy, I mean, Vanguard 1. I mean, it's always cool to see Vanguard 1. I really want to know who's flying that motherfucker.
Senior
Because
Ben.
No, I bet it's Maxwell. King
That's what I'm
Maxwell's
thinking.
flying that.
It's probably Maxwell, yeah.
King Maxwell's flying that bitch. He's good.
They just got
But-
a mic. They got a mic on a piano in the back, and Rebby's playing his theme song. The
No,
whole
I
getting involved.
think it had to have been Brody Lee. In all seriousness, just the way the video played, and then he popped up out of nowhere and beat the tar out of Daniels. For me, it had to have been Brody.
I can't argue that. I can't. It's so close because they were all great. Like I love I love seeing Vanguard 1. I love seeing Brody Lee actually get a chance to speak and take the lead and really shine in a moment. But man, it's hard to top Broken Matt right now. I mean, the first week he came out like it was just a quick, I'm up in the crowd, I'm doing delete, whatever. But that whole thing on the last Dynamite when he first he's here, then he's down at the bottom, then he's over by the ring, then he's in the ring, and he just put, like you just see him appear in different places, and then that back and forth that he had with Jericho was just fucking amazing. And afterwards, he's going delete, and the fire's coming up while Jericho's on the stage, and he's cowering for his life. I mean, that was amazing. It's so close. Gotta give it to Matt Hardy by like a flame or a drone. I don't know. It's close.
But that wasn't his debut.
I know. I'm talking about since all told, since because they both have 2 weeks now, to get in the ring and do their thing.
I mean, if you're talking over the 2 weeks, yes, of course Matt was better last week. But debut-wise, the week before.
Yeah, that initial debut, Brody Lee. Overall, the last 2 weeks, Matt Hardy.
Yeah, I'm going Vanguard.
All right. I'm not gonna argue that either because I missed that motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie.
Vanguard was fun because it wasn't expected. It was just kind of like, all of a sudden, zzz, like, oh shit, Vanguard won.
Yeah, Jericho was just talking smack, and all of a sudden,
yeah.
And then
he's like yelling at Vanguard, like it was.
Shit was awesome.
Oh god, did you see the meme where they have like the blonde girl and the cat, and then they
got Jericho
and Vanguard won.
Oh shit, that had me dying laughing.
Like honestly, 2 weeks ago when Matt made his first debut and Vanguard came out, I literally thought it was gonna be Vanguard with like how he shoots out the holograms and free the delete and all
that's what I thought too.
Like I thought it was just gonna be a hologram.
That would
it'd be funny if they bring in if Jericho brings in a drone and they pretend it's the female drone that Matt Hardy had in his little videos.
Be like it could be like Jeritron 1,
No, it'd be the same drone because there was a female drone in one of Matt Hardy's videos, and that's how he gets Vanguard to join the inner
Vanguard 1 goes to the inner circle.
I know he's got that would be horrible. I know he's got the inner circle shirt on.
Dom, you would love that. Everyone's joining the inner circle. Remember? All the way back to episode 1, every inner circle.
Oh, yes.
Who was it? Was it MJF?
Hey, I already said I was wrong. Don't even start.
But we just went all the way back to episode 1.
Pretty much. Like Jericho was trying to get Vanguard 1 in the inner circle. He just flew away. Then he was trying to get Matt Hardy in the inner circle, and he damn near got torched. Like, it was a bad week for the inner circle. First Sammy's Cuban, then Vanguard 1 don't want to show up, then Matt Hardy don't want to show up. If it weren't for Hager winning, they would have had a shitty week. That's all I'm saying.
Not gonna lie, though, that match Sammy had with Kenny was fucking awesome, though.
That was a good-ass match.
Great. I was almost disappointed he lost. I really was. Because that was probably his best match in AEW. I was thinking he's winning this shit. Wow, this is crazy. And then Kenny pulled it out at the end. I wasn't like heated, but I was like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, that's like the Darby and Cody matches.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. But yeah, it was a great match though. Like I enjoyed the hell out of that. That was probably the best match on Dynamite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we spin the wheel? Oh wait, did Grandma Wendy give her debut? Or
no.
No, I started to, and then we went off on wild tangents about like.
Homegirl, go ahead.
Oh no, I think. Oh, I don't want to compare the two because it was vastly different. Like we got to see Brody Lee actually wrestle, whereas Matt Hardy, we got to him do a promo and be, this whole character. Whereas Brody Lee gave us just a little bit more. They both had very exciting starts, I guess we could say. Brody Lee had more of a debut than Matt Hardy because we haven't seen him fight yet. Or wrestle, I should say. We did see him slug it out, but we didn't see him fight. For me, I'm going to give it to Brody Lee. It was more exciting.
I mean, there really aren't any losers between these three because
not really. No, it was all great stuff.
It was just if you had to pick,
Such good
all right,
shit
let me
all
hit
around.
the wheel one more time. See what we come up on. All right, we got fill in the blank.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so WrestleMania 36 could be epic if blank happens. I have an answer to this if y'all need to think.
Bro.
That was gonna be my answer. If for some not get into a match, but I don't know who Goldberg's gonna be fighting yet, but whoever he's fighting, Matt Riddle comes out and costs Goldberg the title, and then they fight later down the line, maybe in front of a crowd that's gonna chant Riddle during the whole match. Like
Keep chanting bro the
just
whole
make
time.
Goldberg feel like by the time it's over, whether he wins or he loses, after everybody's been chanting Riddle and booing him, like, you know what? Maybe it's time to leave. Thank you, Matt Riddle.
As much as we want that, it's not gonna happen.
I
I
think
just
so either.
I just
But that would
really
make-
hope it's not Braun. Really hope it's not Strowman.
All the reports are Braun, man. I don't want it either. I don't think he deserves it because after all the crap he's caused on social media and you know the stuff that he said about screw independent
Oh
wrestlers and
yeah,
I'm
when
so
he trash
funny.
talks wrestlers, fuck that guy.
I don't think he deserves it, but it looks like he's gonna get it anyway, and that's why the only way that match or WrestleMania itself would be epic is if somehow Matt Riddle came in and cost Goldberg the Universal title. Sorry, I almost forgot what championship he had. Because they're interchangeable at this point. They're both off TV and they're both on part-timers.
Pretty much.
It doesn't matter because as soon as Roman comes back, whoever has it's losing it.
I'll do a bonus one. It would be epic if Drew McIntyre ends up with both belts at the end of the night. He beats Brock, then he comes in, takes on Goldberg because he ain't got an opponent, and then he knocks him off at the end of the night.
Jose, you've been waiting for this.
Yes. Let's let the clown have a minute.
Jose's been waiting for this.
Well, since yesterday, I have been saying that Brock leaves with the title. But then Dom said it'd be better if Drew ends up leaving with both. Well, then I thought to myself, I hate the little cunt anyways, but wouldn't it be hilarious if Brock wins the title and CM Punk comes out?
Oh.
Or Brock's about to win the title, CM Punk comes out and hits the GTS on Brock, and Drew wins.
That would be epic. I might actually like CM Punk again.
Wow. But it won't happen.
But it
by-
won't happen. So
by the
Brock
way-
wins and he leaves with the championship. Yeah, that's
By the way, when we talked about the way they're going to try to pump crowd noise in, or how nobody's going to boo Roman last week and everything else, did anybody know that CM Punk had actually tweeted that out before we came on and did that show? Because I had no clue, and then I found out Vince McMahon is pissed off at CM Punk for those tweets saying, "Well, at least nobody will chant for me or boo Roman Reigns or
I
do
have
whatever."
seen something about it, but
I was like, man, if Vince is pissed at him, he's gonna fucking hate us if he ever sees us. Because we took it further. We had jobbers in the back. You deserve it.
It's going to be Jinder Mahal.
Oh man, they're still doing the Husky Harris thing. Okay.
Oh
Or
no,
not
not the modern day Maharaja.
He's gonna beat Oldberg and
Oh.
take his title back.
I'm telling you, if that's the match they're
His
gonna
title.
have, I'm Goldberg.
Oh,
I ain't
sorry.
even-
He was a WWE champion, not the Universal champion. I forgot title swap shows.
Yeah, they're
I can still see
interchangeable.
him
They're
come
the
out
same
for it,
thing
though.
right now. Wendy, you jump in on this one, fill in the blank.
yeah, sorry. I would love for Riddle to come out and just kind of wreck the match for Willie G, as he calls him. Jinder Mahal, I think I would be okay if it was him against Willie G. I really would be. I'd be happy if it was anybody but, to be honest. If anybody took it off him, I would be content. I don't care at this point who it is. I just
She
don't
just
want it on him.
Just wants Willie G to take the 1, 2, 3.
Be gone.
What if the Fiend took his title back?
That's
I
what
would
I
be
really
happier.
wanted to see. If
Has
they
his
were gonna
match with
have,
Cena, has his match with Cena, and then takes his title back.
Yes.
they want to see the Fiend for Roman Reigns, or I want to see it turn into a triple threat. Fiend,
What
John
if he
Cena,
just takes it?
Goldberg.
What if he just takes him out and just takes his title back?
I'd be
That
happy.
That would be
No
great.
pinfall, no nothing, and that's just how WrestleMania
I
is.
mean-
The Fiend
like
just takes
snatches
his
it
shit
like
back.
this shit's mine.
I did start this rumor, and I don't want to, make this guy out to be too much of a villain, but Goldberg won this damn championship, and then all this crap went wrong in this world. So I'll be happy when he loses that title because maybe it'll all go away. Like that's how we have to end the apocalypse. We got to pull that blue belt right off with Willie G. Just look, coronavirus is gone.
Or is it Moxley's fault?
Nah, it happened pre-Moxley.
See, but it would all been in the mix.
Hey,
I
Wendy,
blame both of them.
Yes.
can you check Twitter? Because Scott Dawson just tweeted. And it says, sorry, guys.
Did he leave?
Yeah,
Right.
it just popped up on my screen, but I
I mean,
can't
the
check it 'cause
revival
I'm on my
hasn't been
phone.
on. Yeah,
Because they're fucking leaving.
yeah, they haven't been on in like a month because they've been leaving. So I don't know what the sorry's for.
So he put another rare match for my collection to help you guys get through these tough times. The revival versus Undisputed Era from San Antonio, Texas. Please do the world a favor. Stay home. We're in this together. Enjoy. And then he put, sorry guys, I tried.
Actually, that's a damn good match. So thank you, Scott.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure out the end though.
Yeah, the
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
tried.
I see. Because it's copyrighted. So people aren't able to watch it.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, so he put a video
Damn
clip
it.
up, but you can't watch it, so that's why.
Damn it.
Okay.
Damn
Okay.
it.
Hey, he tried, like he said.
Yeah, okay, so I pulled it up, like I hit on the video. It says video unavailable. This video contains content from WWE who has blocked it on copyright grounds.
So that must.
Fucking WWE.
WWE wants you to go to their YouTube or their
To the
Network.
network.
or their
most likely.
network
Right.
to look at their shit.
It's okay, Scott. But we still got to give Scott Dawson one of these.
You know, it really
But you
doesn't
tried.
matter because the network's going to be fucking gone in a couple months when they put all the pay-per-views on ESPN Plus.
Right.
Yep. I ain't keeping it.
I don't even have it right now.
Well, they just took my $9.99 the other day, so
Yeah, me too. I'll have it for at least another month.
I might
Yeah,
get it
through
back for
WrestleMania,
WrestleMania just because.
I might
Just because
cancel
I
it
can.
anyways, just so they can see that I don't give a damn.
You probably ain't the only one, bro. I ain't
Oh,
gonna
bro,
lie.
I've been getting emails left and right about hey, we miss you. Hey, we miss you. Motherfucker, you didn't even know who I was until I stopped paying for that shit.
Yeah,
I don't
you,
get
don't,
emails
see, you
anymore.
missed my $9.99 is what you missed.
Right.
Exactly.
you missed that money. That's what they are.
Yep.
Yo,
yep,
can we have your money back, please?
exactly.
Please, we need your $9.99.
We lost like $1 billion the other day. Can we get your money back?
Our stock is still in the trash.
We're selling it publicly,
Seriously.
please. That was another thing that happened. Vince McMahon decided he was going to let some of his shares go and sell them publicly through a bank. And I think at least Wendy and I were saying, like, we all need to throw like $5 in a pot, like everybody at Top Rope Wrestling Talk, the whole Facebook group, and then just buy a bunch of stocks in WWE so we can really get what the fuck we want.
Today it closed at $33.80.
$33? That's
Uh-huh.
fucking cheap.
I thought when I read the report about him selling it at the time, it was at like 38.
Well, that's today, so today it dropped.
Yeah, but I
before
mean, a
they
couple of days
fired
ago when the
everyone and
report came
shit
out.
went down the hole. It was like 100 and something.
Oh, I know, but I mean,
shit.
it dropped like $5.
Look at Jose's like,
It dropped like
deal.
$5 in 2 days from when they put this report out saying Vinny's selling his shares to now.
I
Jose-
mean, I ain't got nothing to do but sit here and spend my money on the internet. So let's do this.
On the internet. Jose got
Internet
that.
shop.
Jose's like, you said $33, like, and he was like a hot chick walked by. He's like, damn, $33.
He's spending his stimulus check.
He looked like
He's spending his stimulus check.
he looked like Wendy if Wardlow walked by. Just damn, daddy.
Speaking of Wardlow and not really Wardlow, but more MJF.
Was going there.
The fucking match coming up with DDP. What?
My God, yeah, I was.
What? Bro, I am so fucking stoked for that
I'm
match.
surprised DDP is coming out of like self quarantine, to do this match.
Bro, that match is going to be off the chain. I can't wait to see the
It is
Diamond
gonna be
Cutter.
good. It is gonna be good because if you saw that 6-man that DDP was in, he can still kind of go.
Oh, he can still
Oh, yeah.
go.
Still go.
He
He
can.
still got it in him.
Okay, he's doing is amazing. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, he is old as fuck.
He is. What?
When he was
60?
in WCW and he finally made it, he was in his 40s.
I know he was like.
So
gonna
he's
say,
at
like-
least
like-
in his 50s now, almost 60.
I think honestly, I think he's like 63. I'm not even bullshitting. I think he's like 63, 64 years old, and he can still go. It's crazy.
Dude, I am looking so forward to that match. I really think that's going to be could be a show stealer.
It really could.
DDP age is the third looked up thing on Google right now when you look up DDP. It's like DDP yoga, DDP age.
I know he doesn't like to
63.
call it yoga either.
63?
So we call it,
Yep.
Damn, I was right.
His birthday's coming up, April 5th. Holy shit.
Oh, damn! Day 2 of WrestleMania, he'll be 64. Maybe that'll make.
When is that match supposed to take place?
I know it's supposed to be on like an upcoming Dynamite, but I'm not sure when.
Is it a Dynamite or is it going to be their next pay-per-view?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be on Dynamite because it's going to be one of those matches they're replacing like Blood and Guts with, since they can't really pull that off right now.
Blood and Guts was last week.
Mhm.
Well, it was supposed to be.
Was
What is
this
and then,
week.
and then all this crap came up, and
Yeah.
they can't really have all those people in the ring at the same time.
They could have if they didn't have a referee.
Yeah, if like Aubrey Edwards would run for her life out of the cage when the last person comes in, then you could get in under the wire. But then
Yeah.
So they're just gonna hold off on that until they can actually pull it off and don't have any restrictions, and they're gonna give you like good shows. I mean, good shows in the meantime. Just hold off on that match.
Which I really hope is sooner than later.
Yeah.
Looking through the news, I didn't find anything recent. It was just a whole bunch of old stuff about like previous match or whatever. And then there's a news article from last month. MJF continues to be really creepy about DDP's daughter Lexi Nair.
She is fucking hot.
She really is.
Why are you shaking your head, Jose?
No comment, DDP. No comment.
I'm sorry, DDP, but I'd like to give her like a booty high five. Ow! Hello, nurse.
I'll give her a diamond cutter.
Yeah, she could definitely feel the bang,
Ew.
Bang!
What's wrong with me?
I'm sorry, DDP. I love you, man, but wow, you make some good daughters. That's all.
Jose, what's
I
your
didn't realize
problem?
that,
He's like, that man's a legend, you mother. Show some respect. Jose, of all people. Call Brock Lesnar a cunt, but he's like, damn it, you respect DDP.
He just ever so freely drops that one word, but here he is.
Right. So apparently we found the line for Jose. That's cool.
Hey, we all have one.
We all have one. I just didn't know where yours was until right about now.
No, haven't hit mine yet.
No, I think we hit yours on Gronk last week because you were just like, oh.
No, that was me more being embarrassed for him.
I don't know. For a minute there, I thought you were going to turn green and just Hulk smash.
No. That was all embarrassment because he's not ready for that
I said that. Man.
at all.
None of us were ready for that, man.
No.
We really we weren't ready. We didn't need that intro, man. I don't know what the fuck he was doing.
So hey, guess what? Mojo's a babyface again.
Yeah, he stayed.
Because Gronk isn't gonna be a heel.
No.
Came in, gave him that hype juice, and now it's just all back.
Just as soon as Mojo was starting to gain just a little bit of steam, and they were starting to put him on TV more, and he was gaining a little steam, being a heel, and then hey, Gronk size, hey, what's up, bro? I'm a babyface. bro, didn't you just have like a shattered glass type thing painted on your face, and you were basically telling people to go screw themselves and cheating to win matches, and now it's like you're back with Zack Ryder.
He stays hype, bro.
Weren't you just
He's hype, bro?
Just like plotting and scheming to get back at Riddick Moss after he took his 24/7 title, and now
24/7, 365 European title.
Where did Riddick Moss come from? I thought he got fired.
He
hadn't seen him in months.
He came back to NXT for a minute. He got hurt. He disappeared again, and then the next time you saw him was in WWE running around with Mojo. So he never really got fired. It was just this weird
Next
thing.
thing you know, we're gonna see the colognes pop up.
Right?
Sabatelli's gonna take the 24/7 title next.
Although if the colognes come back, I think they need to take like mine and Wendy and Mr. Wendy's advice.
Mr. Wendy.
Well, I can't say Jose again because we already got that.
Other Jose?
Where they need to come
Wendy.
Out, they need to come out. They need to come out with a redhead manager named Lucy.
No, they need to get Carlito back.
Names need to be Ricky and Ricardo.
Yes.
Look,
when
that's racist as fuck.
Before they do their moves, they gotta be like, Lucy.
What? You know what? Lucy could finally be in the show. That's all that is. Lucy could finally be in the show after all these decades.
Who was that?
Every time she gets him into some shit, they could turn around and be like, Lucy, you got some explaining to do.
Who was the chick that was the valet for Deuce and Domino? That's who they need.
Oh,
you remember that chick?
Redheaded beehive and the poodles. I can't remember her name, but I remember.
The chick ain't no one ever talk about.
Right?
Wasn't her daddy some wrestler too?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, are you that hungry, bro? Do you got the munchies that bad that you're gonna eat your freaking headphone cord?
No
wonder why your shit's always fucked up.
You're trying to remember her name.
He didn't bring
Sherry.
Sherry, that's it.
No,
but what's her real name?
Your face.
Your mom.
Her ring name was Cherry.
Cherry. That's.
Her real name is Kara Elizabeth Drew. She had ring names Cherry, Cherry Pie, Kara, and Kara Slice.
Cherry Pie, huh?
Vince don't came up with all of those.
My cherry pie.
Song in my head right now, and I can see her on a pole. The only time you hear Cherry Pie anymore is if you're sitting in a strip club.
Jose has no idea what you're talking about right now.
No, I do. At first I said Vince came up with that, but then I was like, nah, it's that dude who was with the Fabulous Freebirds.
Michael P.S. Hayes?
Michael Hayes. It was his idea.
That wouldn't surprise me. He was kind of running creative and stuff back then for talent.
Oh, God. And he's still around.
Still around, baby. With that raspy ass voice. Sounding like Christian Bale as Batman.
I don't know
Won't
what
let
you're
go of the
talking
hair
about.
either. Isn't he like balding up here, but like
He's
won't
still got the mullet.
he just won't let go.
He looks like the Tiger King, but he's got like 800 pounds.
He looks like Ricky Morton.
Looks like he ate
mullet
the
power
cake.
is real, okay, guys?
The mullet and it's bleached out.
So
the mullet
It's
power
not even
is
a
real.
mullet anymore. Like this is just not here anymore. Like this is. I'm looking at a picture of him.
So he lost the
It's
bang.
pretty bad. Can you
Brian
guys see?
Pillman
Yeah.
Jr. can back that up too.
Like that's exactly what I was gonna talk about right now. Is Dom's post
Flying
today
Brian?
on the Facebook page?
Mhm,
How can Flying Brian be the Rookie of the Year 2 years in a row?
Because he
Business in
wanted.
the front, party in the back.
He wanted in 2018. PWI gave it to him in 2018.
Yeah.
And then if you watched, I think it wasn't this week's, it was last week's episode of Fusion. PWI 19.
Dom, we lost you, man. Sounds like an air vent.
That's me.
Oh,
Is that an
That's
airplane?
That's my air conditioner. I'm outside. Remember?
gotcha.
Are the
But yeah,
raccoons out there?
so he had won it in 2018, which is fine. And then a week or two ago, damn mosquitoes. At least it's not a raccoon.
They haven't been around lately. I think the SARS got them. I mean,
The SARS.
Man, you're like 5 viruses behind, homie. The SARS. But yeah, and then we won it in 2019 again, and I'm like, how the fuck
So,
do you win Rookie of the Year 2
did
years
you
in a
not?
row?
Did you not read my explanation?
Being made, and I'm like, yeah, because it's stupid. How the fuck you can't be a rookie 2 years in a row?
It's not technically 2 years in a row. He was only 6 or 7 months into his first bid when he won it in 2018. So he was still technically
Okay.
in his first year
Okay.
in 2019 when
But
he
if they
won it.
gave him Rookie of the Year in the first 6 months, they can't turn around and give it to him again.
He's still in his first year.
But they can't.
So
And they
Jose
did.
had the best.
Thank you,
expectation.
Jose. They can, and they did.
He had the
Because
best
why?
on that thread,
The
and
mullet.
that was
The mullet.
the power of the mullet, baby.
Power of the mullet, bro.
That needs to be like the most beautiful mullet in all of wrestling right now. Like,
Where-
all.
Where do you guys think he's going to sign after MLW?
Oh man,
God, I hope it's not WWE.
I hope it's AEW, to be honest. I
would
wouldn't
down
mind.
for that.
Wouldn't mind Impact, but I'm hoping for AEW.
I think you
I mean,
should.
I could see him as like an X Division champion in Impact and do well, but I'd rather see him in AEW and you know having some nice feuds with like Shawn Spears or MJF or something like that. That seems to be more of a fit for him than any place, to be honest.
Do you think we'll see the new Hart Foundation in AEW when they get their 6-man tag titles?
Well, we ain't getting Teddy, that's for damn sure.
Why?
Yeah, fuck Teddy.
Oh, he's a piece of shit. That's
You
why.
ain't,
Well,
you ain't heard
Flashing
lately?
face.
no, I haven't heard lately.
Like he was in jail, he had a weapon, he had drugs. Then he beat the
He
beat the hell
assaulted
out of
Maria.
He had choked her.
Maria
Yeah.
Mack.
Well,
Like he
I
went
gotta catch
That
up on
whole
my
last
news.
video was crazy because he was like,
Wait,
God bless, God bless. He's like, get the fuck off my truck, Teddy.
There were even
Yeah, it was like some record driver or so. It was crazy.
Yeah.
there were even disputes. Like he said he left MLW and then what's his name, Court
They
Bauer came out
fired his ass.
said
No,
no
they fired his ass.
because he was acting a fool. And shortly after that, he got arrested up here in Richmond with drugs and a gun and all
Yeah.
kinds of shit on him. Got out of jail, came out, and then the other day assaulted Maria Manic, and now he's back in jail. So
Yeah.
he left MLW and just went batshit fucking crazy.
What is
So
it
we
with
won't
the
see
Hart
him.
family, though? What is
But
it with
we
the Hart
could
family?
see-
Either they're extremely boring or extremely crazy, but there's no in between with the Hart family.
Oh, there
You're
is
one
no-
or the
They're
other.
just extreme. It's just
You
There is
realize
nothing-
how long it actually took Teddy Hart to fucking get over?
Yeah. I do.
'Cause
I remember him all back to like Wrestling Society X, you know? and
Look,
oh
when
man.
when Brett had the Hart family in a Survivor Series match against Jerry the King Lawler, like he was boring as fuck.
he really was. He really
And
was.
he really
Oh.
didn't start getting like truly over 3 years ago,
Yeah,
4
just
years
about.
ago.
It took a while, yo. It really did.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the,
Dude, he's
problem,
fucking old.
the
Until he
problem
started
was,
copying Natty with the fucking cat.
right? But the problem was every time he started to like
cat lovers.
every time he started to like get somewhere in a promotion and start to get over, he would just fuck it up. He would just shoot himself in the foot, and then they would get rid of him, and he would have to start all over. So same thing like MLW. He started to get big there. He won the middleweight championship. He got the Hart Dynasty back together. Things were going well, and then all of a sudden he started fucking up, and they threw him out. That's the story of his whole fucking career. That's why it took so long for him to get over in the first place, because he just kept shooting himself in the goddamn foot. I mean, he's a tremendous talent, but he has like
He's got some personal demons he needs to take care of. That's
that
all it
man-
is.
Yes.
that man has a walk-in closet full of skeletons. You know what I'm saying?
I
He
would
does.
say his career is pretty much over.
You'd have to say at this point. I mean, I don't know if anybody would take a chance on him. And I remember us like way back in the AEW special talking about, oh well, he was in the crowd there. Do you think he'll show up there? And we were all excited about it. That was before he
Yeah.
started fucking up. And then once he started fucking up, you were like, oh, at least I was like, oh, here we go again. You know?
He really
I
is
can't
his own
believe
worst
I didn't
enemy.
even fucking hear about this shit.
Oh shit, dude. Yeah, I didn't
Bro,
know. I
who
would
was
have
it that
told you.
posted? Was it you, Jose, that posted the video on the top rope?
No, I think it was.
No,
it was
that
one
was
of us.
me.
Was that you? Man,
His
that video was
YouTube
fucking
video.
hysterical, though. Yeah,
The one
yeah.
that's like an hour long.
No. It was one
Oh,
that was like a day or
video.
two ago. Not even a day or two ago. And it was like the
Oh,
guy was like kicking him out of the house, and Teddy Hart's like trying to put his shoes on or some shit, and he put his
Yeah.
stuff on the guy's truck, and the guy's like, "Get your shit off my
He
truck!
grabbed.
Put my gun case
Teddy
back in my
grabbed the
truck."
guy's gun holster off of the back of the truck, and he's like, "Put
Yeah.
it back on the
Put
truck."
it back on the
Yeah, it
truck.
was
Yeah.
crazy.
And
Right,
then
right
as
back.
Teddy's leaving, he's like, "I was just trying to be a friend, you know." He's like, "No, you weren't. You assaulted her." He's like, "No, I didn't. I called the cops. No, what are they gonna do?" It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. The whole ass video.
wow.
Yeah. And then the guy's like, "Get the fuck off my property." He's like, "Whatever, man. God bless." That's where I
God
died.
bless.
It was crazy, bro.
Shit was insane. Very,
Sorry.
very Jerry Springer. I was like, "What the hell am I watching?"
Yeah,
I
that shit
wanted
was
that
crazy.
dude to just go crazy on him. I was like, hit him. Hit him.
Right?
I swear, I need a water boy in this house.
He's in bed.
Right, that motherfucker. Like, hey, water boy. Yeah. Daddy needs the water. I need to get him the water.
And I'd be like, Gatorade. He'd be like, H2O.
He's like, Dad, I got a wooden spoon.
Mama said. My mama said.
My mama said alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth and
But no toothbrush.
No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong.
Now he goes, well, class, looks like Mama's wrong again.
Yeah. No,
So-
you wrong, Colonel
So
Sanders.
this is now 2 weeks in a row we went off on a movie quote tangent.
Yeah.
It's
Last
the
week was
cabin
Ricky
fever.
Bobby. This week is Waterboy. You know,
Fun fact: that's one of my mom's favorite movies.
it's a great
Vicky
movie.
Valancourt let me touch her boobies and I like
Wait,
it.
Waterboy is one of your mom's favorite movies?
Yeah, it is.
That's a great movie.
I got a fact that can beat that one.
Huh.
My stepdad cried at Waterboy.
He
What?
did.
Grown ass man cried at Waterboy.
I got a story.
What?
I got a story about that movie, but I don't know if it's worth. I don't know. It might get kicked off of YouTube.
Oh
It's
man.
We're just gonna save that for off.
So I want to talk about something for our girl Hope.
Oh, definitely.
Something that
I ran around today looking for my son's blue troll because I was just gonna sit it right here.
That-
on the mic.
that I know she'd appreciate us talking about because she is a diehard. But
Okay.
let's talk a little bit about the Benoit Vice special.
Oh man.
Now, mind you, I haven't seen part 2 yet, but I have watched part 1.
I have, sadly, with everything going on, I haven't seen a damn second of it. But you know, I've heard about it, and obviously, I know the story.
I watched it back to back.
Oh, you need antidepressants now.
I need a hug. Like afterwards, I just kind of sat here like I need a break. I need to
watched
turn
that
off
thing
my
like
TV.
4 times.
Yeah,
I cried in my shower. It was a lot. It was really overwhelming.
Yeah,
It really
I've thought
was.
about it, and I'm sure it's got to be a tearjerker, and I know the story.
Yeah, I'm,
Like,
I'm
I
tearing
heard-
up.
I heard they had, JR on this saying that, regardless, he doesn't belong, he'll never make the Hall of Fame. He doesn't belong there. And I mean, I know I disagree with that point of view, but I wanted to see what y'all thought about that. Like, do you think Benoit deserves to be in the Hall of Fame considering what happened? Or is that just like a no-go?
as a wrestler, he deserves it, but from a political standpoint and point of view of how everyone will actually perceive this outside the wrestling world, it'll never happen. It'll never happen.
That's how I
Only
feel.
because, not because of Vince, not because of the wrestlers or the wrestling fans, but it's because of the corporation that he now has being publicly traded around him.
Yeah. But at the same time, this is kind of one of the reasons that his public corporation is going down the toilet, because he makes it more about the politics and the public. And the last time I checked, it's called the World Wrestling Federation or the World Wrestling Federation Hall of Fame. Oh, I'm sorry, WWE. I'm old. But you get what I'm saying. Like, I get what Benoit did outside the ring. I get what Chyna did after her career was over. I get what some of these people did, but that does not disqualify what they did in his ring, in a wrestling ring in general. Benoit gave his life, basically. He wouldn't have been in that situation had it not been for the combination of pro wrestling and concussion protocols.
It was
Put him in the Hall of Fame. Make him an example of where WWE has gotten from then to now, because we didn't have these things in place. We didn't know that this could happen. And once we did A, B, and C to make sure that it never happened again. That makes you look good. Brushing him off, pretending like he doesn't exist, makes it look like you're some cold ass corporation, and it turns fans off.
There's two things that Vince and WWE can do where they won't have to put Benoit in the Hall of Fame. That's acknowledge his son and treat him with the respect he deserves, because he's been known all of them since he was a little kid.
Amen.
And put Lady in the fucking Hall of Fame.
Yes.
A woman, yeah.
Woman.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No,
Woman.
that's what I mean.
Woman.
Both Benoit and woman, Nancy, whatever you want to call her, they both need to be in the Hall of Fame, because it's not about what happened at the end of their lives. It's about what they did for
fans
professional
need to get
wrestling.
over Benoit going into the WWE Hall of Fame. It's not going to happen.
No.
Woman is a different story.
Yes.
Maybe.
Now,
And
like,
she's more likely than him. I'm not trying to. I know my point of view is my point of view, and everything ain't, just, Dom said it. Okay, let's put him in the Hall of Fame. I know that ain't gonna happen, but it's more likely that you get woman in the Hall of Fame than Chris Benoit. I'm just saying, personally, from their impact on professional wrestling in general and what they did, they both deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
So does Chyna. I don't care.
Chyna is in the Hall of Fame.
Well, with DX, but not individually.
She'll never go in individually.
That's what I'm saying. I know, okay, she did porn. I don't give a fuck.
You think X-Pac's gonna go in individually?
X-Pac was on that porn. He's about to be a 2-time Hall of Famer.
But
So
he's only with
after a
groups.
while-
He's never going to go in by himself.
Still, after a while, it looks hypocritical. If you got a 2-time Hall of Famer that was in the same video with her, it looks hypocritical.
But also consider the personal history that she has with the McMahons. Like, they probably take that into consideration as well. I mean, funny I should say that as Stephanie McMahon is walking down the ramp in a replay of a WrestleMania match.
That's what I'm saying. When it comes to the Hall of Fame,
They should have shown the one where she was
it
riding on
shouldn't
the
be
back of a
about
motorcycle.
things that are beyond the gimmick. It shouldn't be about things outside the ring or after their careers
But
or whatever.
it is,
should
though.
be
It
about-
is.
It should be about what they did as a wrestler. I
We
mean,
can
Jake,
say all of this. We
you
can
could
say
go
all of
through,
this. It should be their legacy, but it's
like
not.
at the end
It's
of
a
the
lot
day,
more
it's
than that.
entertainment.
okay, let's just review. Superfly killed somebody, Hall of Famer. Hulk Hogan, racist motherfucker. How many times is he in the Hall of Fame? You got people in the Hall of Fame that are damn near as bad as Benoit. So again, looks hypocritical.
Didn't they take Hogan out of the Hall of Fame?
No.
He's getting ready to go back in with the
Going
NWO.
in for like the third or fourth time with the NWO, man.
Like,
I think it doesn't help, though, how it played out in the court of public opinion. And I know Dom's going to say it's wrestling, not the public, but it played out very publicly.
Well, they're
it
a
got
publicly
thrown
traded
into the
company.
mainstream media so hard, and it
That's
made
the reason.
wrestling look
A lot
so
of-
bad.
But a lot of
And
stuff
it
already
tarnished-
is what I'm saying. Like a lot of
it
Hulk Hogan
tarnished his-
shit.
It tarnished his legacy so badly. Whereas Snuka, not everybody knows about that.
But
That if you're into wrestling, you know about it. If you're not, it's like, oh, really?
No, but
Okay, didn't
at
know.
the same
And
time, who doesn't
And,
know about Hulk Hogan at this point?
A lot of
Here's-
it might have to
Still
do
there.
with the fact that they glorified Crispin Wall without knowing the information the day after.
Exactly.
And Vince might feel some way about that.
He might be
He takes
assaulted.
things
That's
very
true.
personally, and Vince
He
is a
does.
very petty man.
Here's
He does.
here at the end of the day, if he goes into the Hall of Fame, it's going to be 40 years down the road when every wrestling fan that is alive and watching has no fucking clue who he is.
Yeah,
That
I can
he
see
won't
that.
go in as himself though. He'll go in with the Radicals
He'll go in as the Pegasus Kid.
or the Pegasus Kid. It'll be either or he'll go in with the Radicals. Perry
Now-
Saturn,
yeah.
Team
Yes.
Malenko, Eddie, and Chris.
Now,
I mean,
now,
they deserve to go in.
No. This is one of those things. It was such a heinous crime. It was so ugly what happened. People
Oh,
will
yeah.
remember. If people still remember Bundy Fish. They remember Dahmer. They remember all of these people, and they remember what's his name, Gacy. They remember Manson. They're gonna remember Benoit.
Yeah,
There's
and
no
that's sad.
forgetting it. There's no brushing it under the rug. There's none of that. And his whole wrestling legacy has been turned to shit over
For it.
this.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. He will never be in the Hall of Fame because of the
That's
heinousness of his crime.
and just hearing your voice, that's almost sadder than the entire 2-part Vice special right there.
Like,
You know what I'm saying?
And
Because that even
here's-
hurts me. Like everything he did for wrestling, and this is going to make that all null and void.
And it has.
And it
already
really
has.
has. I mean, I hold a place in. I have a soft spot for him. I do. You know,
Oh,
he
absolutely.
suffered from concussions. I suffer from a lot of similar things, and it led me down a dark path. Not as dark as Benoit, but I'm pretty much a recovering addict because of what I was going through, and I got the help I needed, and I'm here today. But Benoit never did. And not only that, they kept him in the ring. They kept him coming back because they needed him. He was a draw, and that led to what he did. If they would have helped him then, we would not be here in this situation, and he would be in the Hall of Fame. And that's what's sadder than anything.
the reason I wanted to talk about this wasn't because of stupid fucking Hall of Fame.
No.
It wasn't
that's not
because
really
of,
the
I don't
important
even fucking care about the Hall of Fame and Chris Benoit. What he did is unexcusable.
Right.
But everything leading up to it could have been prevented by the
Exactly.
WWE. This man was broken, not because of concussions, not because of his work schedule, because that man lost his best fucking friend in the entire world. That is when he started going down. And the thing about this documentary that I love the most, it doesn't glorify everything bad that he does.
Right.
It tries to show everyone what led to what happened, or possibly led to what happened.
Oh yeah.
This man, he was so broken and beaten down when after Eddie passed away.
He lost his brother, man.
Eddie was more than just a friend and a brother. Like, that was his soulmate. Like,
it really was. Like, he was so defeated. Vicky said, you know, there was times, and his sister-in-law said there was times where months after Eddie died, he cried for days on end about him being gone. That I'm getting goosebumps talking about this right now because
I know,
it's so real.
I don't want to jump in, but I want to give Wendy a hug right now. Just come here.
Right?
Yeah, you guys have me crying. Ugh,
I know. I'm trying not to. I'm like, this damn pneumonia in my eyes.
Bro, I'm telling you, I had was fine on that show until Benoit and David and his aunt, bro. Y'all need to watch part 2.
Oh, dude.
I know. I haven't seen it yet, but I of course watched the interview that David did with Chris Van Vliet, and just listening to him talk and seeing his face and seeing the emotion on him, like the way he would drop at times when he talked about how WWE kind of pushed him to the side after everything that he went through with his father, and I that alone had me in tears. So to watch this special, I know I'm gonna have to have like a full box of tissues and be like, "Don't look at me."
And like,
special,
and I'm trying to joke about it, but that's like at the same time, I'm like, whew.
Like in the special, they asked him who from WWE reached out to you, and they also asked Nancy's sister, and both of them said nobody. The only person who did was Chris Jericho.
No,
Chris
it was
Jericho
never.
and Chavo, that's it.
The thing about Benoit, and what he did, it was not one thing that led to him doing all this. It was like a Molotov cocktail, like a bunch of shit mixed together and just led to this horrible, horrible series of events. And, you know, you don't wish that kind of shit on your worst enemy, let alone a guy that had done so much and meant so much to wrestling fans at the time like me. You know, it's a sad situation, and Bruce is right. It's way beyond the Hall of Fame. This is a person who just went through so much and got like no help whatsoever, nothing.
All it takes
just
is
get out there
one person.
because you're a fucking draw, and that's like that part makes me just want to like slap a baby with a puppy. You know, like it's just fucking it makes me irate because this man was just so broken like Bruce said, and nobody wanted to do a damn thing about it.
Yeah, all it would have taken is one person from the company just to go pick him up and be like, look, man, let's go get you some help. You know, that's all it would have taken. But they didn't.
And it's like I fight for him as far as his reputation in the Hall of Fame, because even though I didn't experience something that dark, it was damn close, and somebody reached out and helped me, or else I would not be sitting here talking to y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And it pains me that nobody did that for Benoit. I want to say more, but I'm trying not to like. Like it really does. Like I'm not saying I went through the same, but I definitely relate to what he went through, because I had the same thing: concussions, lost somebody like a brother to me at the time, had nowhere to turn, was losing my goddamn mind, turned into drugs and whatever the fuck to try to get away from it, and thankfully somebody reached out and tried to help me, and I looked at myself in the mirror and went, man, I'm fucked. And I just took it, and that's why I'm here and he's not. But nobody did that for Chris Benoit. So before you go and judge him, before you say he's just some dirty murderer or he needs to be forgotten or fuck him, you watch this, or you go watch the 2-part special, and then you make your own choice. Don't be ignorant about the situation. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because you could be in it. I know, because I kind of was. I mean, I hate to break fourth wall like that, but fuck it, it's worth it. It's deserved.
Yeah.
I feel so bad, like coming up on the end of this, and we're like, bringing everybody down. I don't know what to say. Let me see. I got anything?
Yowie wowie.
Let us in.
Like Dom said, go watch the specials, and then you take your stance on it.
What I appreciate about the specials that it humanized him.
Yes.
People like even though in true crime world, I guess you could say it is a heinous crime and it is going to go down with a lot of other people. He wasn't like these other serial killers or mass murderers or whatever. He was someone who, like Dom said, was broken and no one reached out to, and no one said, hey, Chris, let me help you. Yeah, he wasn't a psychopath. He just did help.
It's like you see all these people, suffering from depression out here or PTSD. Yeah, I mean, Bruce is one of them. My wife is one of them. And imagine if you're like this, go through Benoit's story. What would you be like then? Is his story worse than yours, and where are you? That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Don't just dismiss the man and say something ignorant, because if you were hurting and nobody reached out to you or you didn't get the help you needed, what would you do?
And I think
I already answered that question.
Help.
Yeah,
I think it wasn't just Chris who needed help though. I think like Nancy too needed help as well.
I'm sure.
You know what I mean? Like they were both in a position in their lives where they needed someone to reach out to them individually and say, hey, give me your hand. Let me help you.
Right.
Because it had become a toxic situation.
Even where a lot of us are right now, I mean, things are getting taken away. Things are shutting down. You're trapped in your home, and you're looking for help, and maybe it's not there. And then you're thinking, what do I do? Where do I go from here? And maybe it starts getting you down, or maybe it starts making you think about doing things that you would never do. Well, that was Chris Benoit, because he was going through a lot more than we are right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's just when you're in groups, or you see like wrestling communities here and there, there's always a handful of people, if not more, that just kind of like really get on Benoit and call him dirty names and say a lot of things. And man, I fight with those people, because you probably don't know half the story. And if you did, you probably wouldn't be saying what you're saying. And if you do, then you're just a fucking asshole. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know how else to put it. Like you're, I'll bring it back slightly. You're just a fucking muppet, okay?
Waka, waka.
Now we're getting it. See, I know how to bring that mood right back up. I'm trying, man, I'm trying. I'm like Scott Dawson. I tried.
Oh, that was so fucked up, bastard.
Uh,
Yeah,
Bastard.
this is why I really try not to talk about these things, but they do need to be discussed.
they do.
You know, I'm glad Bruce brought it up because sometimes I'm like, man, I don't want to talk about that. I'm gonna get mad. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna do that. But you know what? Sometimes it's got to happen. It's life. You know, this shit happens. It ain't all sunshine and rainbows like Rocky Balboa said. You're gonna get knocked down. You know.
Sure. Sure.
Well,
On that note-
I think on that note, I think we've had a great show, a serious show, a history lesson.
Of emotions, that's for sure.
We all broke down. We shit on WWE. We praised AEW. You know, typical show. You know, except for the history lesson and the whole breakdown at the end of the show.
Yeah.
But-
H2L, stay hydrated.
Whoa, water boy. No, it's been. Look at the whoa, water girl. So Vicky Valancourt let me touch her boobies and I liked it. It's been a great show. You know,
We will do it free. Just do not give the contents of that container to anyone.
listen, like our YouTube page, subscribe, hit the like button, comment down below. You can find us on anchor.com/FM/Top Rope Wrestling Talk and
Give him the social. I'll do the podcast. Give him the social medias. You're good at
I'm
that.
bad, bro. I stepped on his toes. Now he's mad at me.
Like, Anchor, this stuff.
Yeah. Whatever. So, all right. You can find.
Stick to what you know.
You're gonna make me throw a Chuck Lasso right across the screen here.
I'll stick to what I can. I'll stick to what I know. You can find us on Facebook at Top Rope Wrestling Talk. We are actually we're a closed group now. No, we're an open group. We're a public group. We're no longer closed. We're public. We're public.
No, we're like the WWE publicly traded
Yeah, we are publicly traded.
for
so
$33.83.
For 33 cents.
come on over, check us out. We post anything you want wrestling related. We do sometimes let non-wrestling related stuff slide. Very, very, very little. But yeah, come post what you want. Talk about what you want. We'll comment on everything. Depending on how pay-per-views in this crazy fucking world we've got goes, we'll probably have titles on the line at WrestleMania. So look, you can win the title Saturday.
What matches are even going on at WrestleMania?
You can win the title Saturday and then lose it on Sunday.
On Sunday.
You know, and then you can follow us also on Twitter at Top Rope WT, and come follow us on there. We chatted up with some wrestlers here and there, and you know we post on there, and we kick back and forth and we chat a little bit. And you can also find us on podcast. Dom, why don't you tell us where that is?
All right, so you can pretty much find us wherever podcasts are enjoyed. If that's not good enough for you, just go to anchor.fm/TRWT. Our website will pop right up. You'll see all our episodes there. You're also going to see at the top of the page every platform we're on, which is pretty much every platform there is. So if you don't want to listen to us on Anchor, pick your platforms, follow us, subscribe, give us some comments, give us some ratings. We use them on the show too. So if you say something nice, you say something horrible, we'll probably come on here and praise you or talk shit depending on what you said. And just have fun with it. Enjoy wrestling, enjoy us, and give you something to do during these times, man. And there's a lot of wrestling that just isn't there anymore. A lot of places that have shut down. We're still up and running. We're still going. Fill the void. Enjoy us.
Yes. Enjoy.
Yes.
For Wendy, Jose, Dom, and myself, I want to say deuces. We are out.